and we're live on the page. What up, people? What's going on? Get this camera right. Shit.
Okay.
It's about to get real. What's up? You got something to say before I get started?
Oh, nah.
Oh, you just preparing yourself?
I just didn't know if the camera would be like out that far because I was actually about to eat something and I want to eat.
Oh, okay, I got you. No, I won't do you like that. Not today, at least. Right. What's up, party people? We're going to get started today. Talk about some good information. Hopefully you all are having a wonderful day. Let me know who's in here. I got our Facebook page, and then I also have our private group. So I'm going to be talking to our clients for a part of this, and then I'm going to be talking to everyone. And one of the main subjects. What's up, Patricia? It's you know what's crazy over the weekend?
Is that Patricia Bridges?
No, it's not. Over the weekend when I was recording this, no comments would show up on my iPad, and I just got a comment on my iPad right now, so it's pretty dope. Anyway, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Today we're going to be talking about how to deal with debt collectors over the phone and some of the deceptive practices that they use to bully you into making payment arrangements. So I want to make sure that you all are prepared for whatever situations may arise, especially over the phone when you talk to these debt collectors. And I want to put you in a position of power so that you can handle yourself accordingly and make sure that you're not being taken advantage of. So let's give people enough time to get up in here, and then once we get a few people in here, we're going to get started and share some good information. As our clients get in here, I want to let you all know that questions we're going to save until the end. If you have any questions regarding your credit repair accounts, please save those to the end. However, this is going to be a more engaging broadcast, so I'm going to be asking you some questions, and engage with me. Let me know if you've ever dealt with these situations. Also on the Facebook page, let me know. But let's give people a few more minutes to get up in here, and then we're going to get started. Yeah. Let me see here. So I wrote some good notes on my computer, and then it shut down on me. So I'm loading all that back up right now. That way I can stay on course. Let me know that if you can hear me. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a like. Let me know that you can hear me. Let me get one like. Okay, let me see something. So I want to address our clients really quick. Our service is basically to help you improve your credit scores. However, in order for this program to work, you have to do your part, okay? You have to make sure that you continue to pay your bills on time. You have to make sure that you lower your credit utilization. If you don't have any credit cards, make sure that you open up the credit cards using the recommendations that we provided you, and also prevent any further bills from going into collections or being charged off. If you can do that and allow us to utilize our expertise in helping you, there's no reason why you should not get results. The only time you will not see the results that you want is if you're not doing your part. So make sure you're doing your part, and we're going to continue to work our butts off to get you the results that you want, okay? That's the first thing that I wanted to address, because it's important that we meet your expectations. However, in order for this to work, you have to be engaged and making sure that you're doing your part as well, okay? Because payment history is 35% of your credit score, and that's a component that we can impact, but you will have a greater impact if you did your part as well, okay? So today we're going to be talking about how to handle debt collectors over the phone and some of the deceptive methods that they use to try to bully you into making payment arrangements. And a lot of times, especially from my experience, they put people in positions and corners, scaring the shit out of them, and they end up paying on debts that they probably shouldn't have. So the information that I'm going to share with you today is to help you so that you can be in a position of power and make sure that you're not paying on something or making arrangements on something that you have no business making arrangements on. Okay, so I'm going to be going back and forth like this a lot. My neck does hurt a little bit, but the reason I'm doing that is because I have two cameras on. I have one, our Facebook page, and then I also have our private client group as well. So please be patient with me. Patricia, if you can please give our office a call, 419-824-0004. We will, be glad to discuss any concerns or questions that you may have regarding your account. That number is 419-824-0004. Okay, so let's dive into it. Typically, what happens is ABC Collection Company will call you up saying, "Hey, Jason, we have your credit card account, and we noticed that you never paid the bill. We're calling today to make arrangements so that you can satisfy this debt and get it paid off." And with me having no idea of who ABC Collection Company is, my instinct is to question that. Oftentimes, we don't question these debt collectors. We just take everything they say as gold and we follow their plan accordingly. The thing is, a lot of these debt collectors are janky. They don't follow the processes correctly, and they don't abide by the law. So this information I'm going to share with you right now is to protect you so that you don't get taken advantage of. And people get taken advantage of every day, okay? So with this information, you are going to be on the winning side of this, okay? So ABC Collection Company calls you. They want to make an arrangement, and this is what you do. You tell this company that you have no knowledge of this debt and you don't feel comfortable talking about it over the phone. You would like it if they sent you information regarding this debt in writing, and to have further communication done in writing and not over the phone. You do not feel comfortable talking to them about this debt over the phone because you don't have any knowledge of it, okay? And then what they're going to do is they're going to continue to press you. They're going to push you. They're going to continue to repeat themselves. And what you need to do is you need to be consistent. I have no knowledge of this debt. I do not feel comfortable talking about this debt over the phone. And I will feel more comfortable if you send me information in writing regarding this debt, and then we can have further communication done in writing, okay? It is your right to communicate with people how you want, and they must follow whatever guideline that you want to follow, okay? So what happens is, if they're a legit company, they will do as you say. They will send you the information in writing and then continue to follow up with you in writing. However, the janky ones continue to call. And this is what you do to stop that, okay? If they continue to call, you get the company name, the company address, the account number, and then basically who to make the payment out to, okay? You get that information, and then you tell them that you will follow up with them, okay? And then once you get that information, you send a cease and desist letter, basically requesting, using the law, that they stop communicating with you in writing. And if they violate that, you can sue them, okay? Also, for our clients, we request debt validation as well, which I want to talk about as we move forward. But it's real simple. When debt collectors call you, instead of putting yourself in a situation where you are paying on a debt that you should not be paying, or a debt that you don't feel comfortable even talking about, you let them know, I have no knowledge of this debt. I do not feel comfortable talking about this debt over the phone. I will feel more comfortable if you send me information regarding this debt in writing, and to please stop calling me. Communicate with me in writing, okay? You get that, you say that, you repeat yourself until they hang up, and abide by that. And if they continue to call you, you get their contact information and you send them a cease and desist. You can do that during that first conversation as well, but we want to be stern when we talk to these people over the phone, and we want to let them know that we're not stupid. You're not going to take advantage of me, and I mean what I say, okay? And if you continue to use that dialogue when you talk to these people, you will get results, okay? So right now what I want to do is I want to give you some examples of deceptive practices that these debt collectors use, which, many are in violation of the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. And if you take good notes and use their information against them, you can sue them and make some money, okay? So the first deceptive practice that, this is in no particular order, by the way, but one of the deceptive practices that debt collectors use is posing as government employees. A government employee is someone who works for the state, works for the city, works for the county, okay? For example, they could be a police officer. Or another example, they could be the clerk of courts, okay? They'll call you posing as these people, and basically to convince you that they have authority and to scare you into making an arrangement. We get calls all the time on, Jason, what should I do in this situation? This company called me and they put a police officer on the phone, and he basically said that I owe the debt. I'm scared. What should I do? And this method actually works. They get a lot of results from this because people get scared. And if you have any experience with, debt collectors posing as government officials, give me a thumbs up and let me know, because it will help us with understanding how often this happens, okay? But they'll call you up and threaten you as if they were the actual government official and, try to put you in a corner. The thing is, unless they have a document from the court with a judgment, even if a cop says that you owe it, they don't have that authority to make you pay it. They have to go through the proper, process to actually prove that you owe that debt. And even if, they do, if they actually called you, they don't have that authority to, force you to make a payment on that debt. So be aware. If they call and threaten you, the law is on your side. You still do not have to pay that debt. Use the dialogue that I shared with you. I don't feel comfortable talking about this. I will feel more comfortable if you share this information with me in writing. I have no knowledge of this debt. Please stop calling me, okay? It doesn't matter who it is, okay? So that's the first deceptive practice that they'll use. Another one is they will pose as attorneys when they are not. Attorneys, if they are debt collectors, they do have the authority to collect on debts. However, if you're not an attorney but you say you are, you're actually lying, and that's a deceptive practice, and it's actually against the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. They will pose as if they are attorneys seeking to collect on a debt, and attorney, it sounds like you're about to sue me. Let me pay this debt before this goes any further, okay? So they scare you. It's another scare tactic. They're going to scare you, saying that they're an attorney with, white associates, and, we're trying to get our money. So be aware of this, okay? At the end of the day, anyone who is trying to collect a debt, and if they're not the original creditor, they must abide by the same laws, okay? They have to come correctly, no matter who it is. So they'll pose as attorneys and talk to you as if they're collecting this debt on behalf of the original creditor, and they'll mention, of course, taking you to court and all that good stuff, but it's not true. So be careful. If they really wanted to take you to court, they wouldn't call you. They'll just send you the documentation saying, hey, we have a court case. All right, think about that. We have to use our logic when these people call us. If something doesn't make sense, 9 times out of 10 it's probably not true, okay? Another method that they will use is they'll try to send you misleading letterhead that seems like it's from a courthouse or from some kind of government agency, when actually it's not. And the best method that you can use when they send you information in writing is to actually contact the legal authority or the courthouse, whatever it is, contact that office and to verify that information. You can always verify it. Just because they send it to you don't mean that you have to actually call them and make payment arrangements. Verify that information, because they will send you information that seems like it's actually from a courthouse, but it's not. It's fake. But it's a scare tactic that they use to try to get you into making payments when you really don't have to. So be careful about that, and call and verify that information. Let me know if you have any experience with receiving information from debt collectors, like letterhead that seemed like it was from a courthouse or police station or anything of that nature. Give me some likes if you have experience with that. But it happens, it happens all the time. Another scare tactic that they'll use is basically, threatening the loss of some of the entitlements that you may receive, like Social Security, food stamps. They'll basically threaten you and say, hey, if you don't pay this debt, there's a potential that you lose your Social Security check because we can garnish that. No, they can't. They can't do that. They don't have that authority. Or, we'll report this to, a government agency and we'll take away your food stamps. No, they can't. They can't do that. Okay? So if they say that, don't believe it. Repeat the dialogue that I shared with you. Hey, I don't feel comfortable talking about this debt over the phone. Have no knowledge of this. I would feel more comfortable if you share this information with me in writing and we communicate in writing from this point forward. I don't feel comfortable talking about this over the phone. Continue to repeat yourself because they're going to try to scare you shitless. All right? Let me see here. What's another one? They will try to create a false sense of urgency that will basically imply that if you don't pay it, your account is going to build up more interest. For example, our clients get settlement letters from debt collectors all the time saying, hey, you have until the 3rd of next month to pay on this debt, and if you don't, interest is going to be charged in your account $300. These are lies. They don't have the authority to charge interest on debts, especially if the original creditor wasn't charging interest. They can't just make up their own arrangements, okay? If they do have the legal right to collect on the debt, they have to follow the guidelines under the original contract, okay? And if they call themselves making up their own guidelines, they're in violation of the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, okay? So if you get information like this in writing or they say it over the phone, they are lying to you and they're trying to put you in the corner so that they can, make some kind of payment arrangement, all right? Another misleading tactic that they'll use is, they'll play mind games with you. For example, they'll play good cop, bad cop. For example, I'm the good cop and Tish is the bad cop. I'll talk to you on the phone like, hey, I'm really trying to, get this secured for you. I'm gonna work my butt off to make it work for you, but my manager wants to speak to you. And then she gets on the phone like, hey, you need to pay this bill or we're gonna come at your house, knock on your door and, give you this summons. Good cop, bad cop methods that they try to use to scare you. The guy, I'm trying to seem like I'm trying to help you, when in fact, I'm just trying to scare you by using this method to, getting, some kind of payment arrangement out of you. So be careful, okay? Again, use that dialogue that I shared with you and you'll be okay, all right? Another misleading tactic that they'll use is they will threaten a lawsuit when they don't intend on suing you, all right? We actually had a client a few months ago received a letter that basically said, if you don't pay this debt, we're going to take you to court and sue you. Again, that's in violation of the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. And we told her to get a lawyer and share that letter with the lawyer, because this is what they did, and this is how they messed up. And if they were intentional, I believe they have 30 days to actually implement what they are threatening, okay? So if you're saying that you're going to sue me in 30 days and you sent this letter 3 months ago, however, I'm just not reading it, and I'm not being sued right now, that is a scare tactic. That means that you lied, right? And if I would have opened up this letter 3 months ago and actually paid this bill, and you didn't have the intention on it suing me, you're lying. So basically, you can use that information and sue these bastards so that you can get your money, because they are in violation of the law, okay? Can't stand janky debt collectors, all right? Another tactic that they'll use is they will, suggest that, property of your family members will be sold or, obtained through the legal system because you didn't pay a debt. And people get scared, especially if you have a family member who's dependent on something and they're threatening to take something away from that family member because of your issue. You'll feel obligated to making sure that you pay that debt, to prevent that. And again, this is just a scare tactic to get you to paying the debt without actually providing you the information that will prove their legal authority to collect on it. So we want to be careful with that and not allow them to allow us to get emotional about what's going on. We want to take control, use the dialogue that I shared with you. I do not feel comfortable talking about this over the phone. I actually have no knowledge of this debt, and I will feel more comfortable if you shared with me information in writing regarding this, and then I'll follow with you through written correspondence, okay? That's all you have to say. Get them off the phone, take control of the conversation, and put yourself in a position of power, okay? Another scare tactic that they'll use is they'll actually call your neighbor and share with your neighbor or other people that you may know about your financial situation and try to embarrass you into making a payment. This is another scare tactic that they use. Very janky method. However, people allow it to work and they end up paying on debts that they shouldn't. I just want you to be aware so that you don't fall victim to this and you take control of the situation. All right. Another tactic that they'll use is for example, if they can't reach you and they're having a hard time locating you, they will locate your family. Okay. One thing that I've learned is when you obtain a debt, either you're trying to buy a car, and you list what are they called? People when you list references. You list references, and let's say that you never paid the car and it was repoed, and a debt collector buys that account, and then they try to contact you. However, your phone number is no longer in service. They'll actually call the references and pose as if they were a longtime friend trying to contact you because they can't get your information. And knowing your family, they don't understand what's going on. Oh yeah, Becky, nice hearing from you. I haven't heard from you in years. Here's Jason's information. Give him a call, okay? And they actually gave your information to the debt collector, and the debt collector will call you now, obtaining that information, posing as if they were a longtime friend when actually, they ain't itching it. Anyway, they a couple more scare tactics that they'll use is they'll contact you and basically share with you that the information from the original creditor isn't actually adding up, and the creditor sold this debt to the debt collector for pennies on the dollar. However, the debt collector is going to lie and basically mention to you that, hey, we didn't receive full payment on this debt, when actually the debt collector or the creditor provided them with information that shared with them that the debt was actually paid more than what they're reporting. Okay, for example, you have a debt that was $500. They will say that they only collected $200 and you owe $700. So they'll lie about that when actually they're committing fraud. So the reason I'm sharing all of these deceptive methods that debt collectors use is to help you with realizing that you need to make sure that you protect yourself. And what I mean by that is, instead of feeling comfortable making arrangements over the phone, what you need to do is put yourself in a position of power by letting them know that you don't feel comfortable, one, and then using their information against them, okay? It's very important that you seek validation for whatever you receive through a debt collector, okay? Because understanding these deceptive practices, they're liars. And oftentimes they use these deceptive practices because they can't come at you correctly, meaning that they don't have the actual proof to share with you that they have the legal authority of collecting on this debt. So instead of actually sharing with you the correct way, so that you can so that you can feel comfortable with paying the debt, they try to use these deceptive methods to collect on it because they actually don't have proof. proof, excuse me. So you want to seek debt validation on everything that is alleged against you, okay? And, you know, the reason it's so critical is due to the fact that you can end up paying on a debt that you probably don't have to, or a debt that is well past the statute of limitations, meaning that the creditor or debt collector does not have the legal authority to sue you, meaning that your debt has expired, is no longer collectible, okay? And instead of you, oftentimes instead of people actually seeking validation on these debts, they go ahead and pay these debts when they don't have to. So you want to seek validation on everything that is alleged against you. That way, if you pay on it, you know that you need to pay on it, not that you felt guilty enough to pay on it, okay? So we just want you to be protected and make sure that you don't put yourself in a bad situation, and, you know, put yourself in a position of power, okay? So through validation, there are a couple things that you want to make sure that you obtain. Proof of contract that's signed by you. In that contract, there must be an assignment clause that allows the original creditor to assign that debt to whomever they, you know, want to, and also a signed receipt from the original creditor and the debt collector, basically a proof of sale, okay? And it needs to be notarized, and you need all that information to prove that the debt collector who is trying to collect on the debt actually has the legal authority to collect on it, and they can hold you accountable. And then once you have that information, then, you know, we can look into making arrangements to either set up a payment for deletion or a settlement in full, okay? And without that information, you should not feel comfortable paying anything that has not been proven first, okay? There was one good point that I wanted to share with you, and I totally forgot what it was. Okay. So we talked about, you know, validating your debts and what you need to validate your debt. However, the key point in the validation is that everything that proves you are legally responsible to paying the debt is from the original creditor, okay? Signed contract from the original creditor, of course, the assignment clause in the contract that proves that the original creditor can assign that debt to anyone, and then also a notarized copy of the proof of sale between the original creditor and the debt collector. If the debt collector shares with you anything that is not from the original creditor, you should not deem it as validation, because basically the debt collector is saying we can collect on this debt because we say so. And really, we need proof from the original creditor because they're the one who, you know, originated whatever debt that you acquired, okay? So without that proof that includes the original creditor, how do we know that it's actually real? Exactly, okay? So right now, you know, what I want to do is open this up to questions, either regarding, you know, this process that I just shared with you, or for our clients in regards to your credit repair accounts. What's up, Larry? I was a client a couple months ago. I got to like 670. My credit dropped to 520 when I lost my job. So can I finish my credit monitoring? Larry, we are always receptive to bringing back our clients. If you feel, you know, that you want to come back, give us a call. We would love to talk to you about our program and, you know, get you back on board. Our number is 419-824-0004. Give us a call back. We're also going to put that number in the comment area. Feel free to give us a call and we can talk to you about rejoining our program, okay? Let me see here. Let me see if I can get these questions. Man. All right. Great advice. Actually, I want to say, but what do you do when it's recording, asking you to call them back? You don't, Angelia. You do not call them back. Basically, that's a tactic to get you to call them. You know, there's methods out here where you don't even have to call people and you can leave a voicemail automatically, and that's a method for them to get in contact with you. So until they're able to actually reach you, don't worry about giving them a call back. However, if they are calling and you're not answering the phone and you're tired of them calling, feel free to answer the phone and let them know that you don't feel comfortable. But I just want to let you know that, you know, a voicemail requesting that you call them back is a method for them to get in contact with you. So just be aware of that. Monique, I don't know why it's not allowing you to watch it live on your timeline. And the reason every time you post something that says pending is due to the fact that we have to approve the posting first. That's why. That way we prevent, you know, people from posting information about their services or, you know, whatever they're doing, trying to sell. That helps us prevent that. Patricia, I had one call me and say they were coming to my house. They said if I do not pay today, they were going to take me to court. I said, come on out and get me. Take me to court. Yeah, I love it. Taffy, what do you do when you have people with the same name and they think it's you? You ask for debt validation. So if someone has the same name as you and they're contacting you in regards to a debt that's not yours, that's one reason why we want to seek that validation. Taffy, since you're a client, send us that information and we can request that for you, okay? Miss LB, what if the debt collector sends a few invoices, bills as proof of validation? That's not validation. Sending you an invoice or a bill from the original creditor is not actually proving anything. It's basically verifying the information that they're sending to you from the original creditor. Validation is basically proving that they have the legal right to collect on the debt, and also they can hold you legally responsible to paying it, okay? That's why we want the proof of contract that's signed by you with the assignment clause that states that the original creditor can assign the debt to anyone they want. And we also want a notarized copy of the proof of sale between the original creditor and the debt collector. This basically proves that they have the legal right to collect on it, and that they can hold you legally responsible to paying the debt. So, you know, a proof of bill, invoice is only verification. That's not validation, okay? Let me see. Larry, we won't be able to actually contact them directly, but we can, you know, provide you with direction regarding that, so that you can, you know, make sure you set yourself up accordingly. But no, we don't you know, contact the IRS or anything like that for you. All right, let me see. What does your credit score need to be when buying a home? That's what I'm trying to do. Well, the goal is to help you do that, Vanessa. So it really depends on which program you go through. A lot of FHA loans start off at 580. Some start off at 640. The goal is to get you in a system where you know, it meets your needs. Typically, we want our clients to have at least a 640 credit score across the board. That way, you know, as they continue to make you know, the transition towards accomplishing their goals, at least their credit score is, you know, decent enough, right? But it really depends on, you know, what program you're trying to go through. But typically through our program, we want you to have at least a 640. All right. So yeah, that's the information that I wanted to share with you in regards to, you know, protecting yourself from debt collector tactics they use to, you know, bully you into making payment arrangements. So clients, give me one quick second. I got to end it with the Facebook page. Thank you, everybody who engaged with us. If you're looking for, you know, credit repair services, and you don't mind getting help from human beings, we would love to serve you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add our website link and our phone number to the comment area. Feel free to reach out to us and sign up for our credit repair service. You can learn more about our program at the 700 Club creditrepair.com. Thank you all for your time. I'm out. Peace.